What's up, Lily Flower? What's up? What's up, you all? About to jump right into it. Today's show title is called The Queens. And we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to play this story, and I want you to tell me what you all think. It's a young lady. Let me find it.
When I was 14, I had a train ran on me by three senior boys in high school. I was 14, one was 17. When I was 14, I had a train ran on me by three senior boys in high school. I was 14, one was 17, another was 17, and one was 16 years old. When I was 14, I got bullied a lot, so I didn't have any friends in school, and my home life was no better than my school life. I was the black sheep of my family, and I was severely mistreated in my home, and I was left out, neglected, and bullied in school. I walked to school every day by myself with my headphones in, listening to my music, and I walked home every day by myself. I never.
Okay, I'm going to start it over because it started out kind of low. I had to turn the volume up, but I'm going to start it over. Okay, now I'm about to start it. And you all can read the title on the screen. This young lady. I'm just going to start it over. Hope everybody's having a great evening. Janan TV, what's up? Paul, what's up? Jessica Girl, what's up? Kaya, what's up? Ashley, what's up? JV Chanel, what's up? Tierra, what's up? The Ice Cold Wolf, what's up? What's everybody on Instagram? Tiana, Angela, and Lily Flower, Ethiopian Black. Everybody, what's up? Quay, what's up? Okay, let's get started. Zoom 7K, what's up?
When I was 14, I had a train ran on me by three senior boys in high school. I was 14, one was 17, another was 17, and one was 16 years old. When I was 14, I got bullied a lot, so I didn't have any friends in school, and my home life was no better than my school life. I was the black sheep of my family, and I was severely mistreated in my home, and I was left out, neglected, and bullied in school. I walked to school every day by myself with my headphones in, listening to my music, and I walked home every day by myself. I never bothered anyone, I never talked to anyone. I was a very shy child. These boys were extremely handsome and very popular in school, and they also happened to have to walk every day to school, to and from. And one day, they decided to start speaking to little old me. Now you have to understand my perspective at this time. I was a nobody and nothing, both in school and in my home life. Nobody gave a damn about me. To the point teachers had to bring food to school, groceries for me at one point in time. And all of a sudden, the popular boys were coming up to me and talking to me while we were walking home to school together. Not only were they popular, they were attractive. All the girls wanted them. They were in ROTC, they played sports, they were light skinned, they had the curly hair, the best fits, the flyest Jordans, and they were talking to me with my raggedy clothes, with my hand me downs, with my hot waters, with my hair all over my head, with my funky armpits. I felt like I was dreaming. I couldn't believe it. Like, this could finally be my chance. I could finally have some friends. I could finally be part of the popular crowd. I could finally be in, right? They told me that I was cool, that they wanted me to come over and play games with them. So that's what I did. One day I followed them home. I walked right down the street with them to their house, and I went inside to play Call of Duty with them. I remember their home was much different from my home life. Their mom was in the kitchen cooking, their aunts were in there, they was all chit chatting, they offered me a plate. Their brothers and cousins were all in the room playing together. I was so amazed. I felt so welcomed. I felt so at home. I thought to myself, I never want this feeling to stop. I don't want to go back home to where I was at and get cussed out, yelled, and abused. This is amazing. I got new friends and maybe even a new family too. We played Call of Duty until the sun went down, and then his mom told me I needed to go home. As I was going home, he told me, come back. I'll sneak you in so that we can play the game some more. When it started to get dark, I obviously had to head back home. But as I was getting ready to leave, he came up to me and said, come back tonight. I'll sneak you in so we can play more of the game. 14-year-old me, who wouldn't want to play more of the game with one of the most popular boys in school? Come on now. So that's what I did. I came back.
Now, so her story is she's 14 years old. The popular guy at school likes her. She said he was light skinned with curly hair. Um, all the girls liked him. I think he had a brother. Anyway, so she's about to talk about having this choo choo, you know, performed on her. Now, what's very key in the story is that she says that his mother told her that it was time to go home, and then he told her to come back. So she has a decision to make. She can obey the adult, which is his mother, or she can listen to him. The Bible says that God always gives us a way of escape. So usually there is a warning before destruction. Usually there's like calm before the storm. Usually you're given a heads up before something's going to happen to you, usually. And so in this particular case, the mother told the young girl to go home. Now, she could have obeyed this woman who she said treated her like family. They fed her, they welcomed her, treated her great. So now, how does she repay how the mother treats her? She repays the mother by being disobedient to her, by going against her wishes. I know you're gonna say, well, Blanche is only 14, but still at 14, she knows right from wrong. And so she chose wrong, even though she admitted that the family treated her well. So the least she could have did was honor what the mother said so that she'd be able to come back. That's the one side of this equation. The other side is she likes the popular guy. He's older, he's light skinned, like she said, with curly hair. All the girls like him. So we're dealing with two motivations here. The first motivation is to do what is right, and the second one is to give way to Satan. It's just what it is. Even at 14, we get presented with these same challenges from the time we're young to the time we get old. The devil doesn't pick and choose. The devil tests us from the beginning to the end. I'm sorry, it just is what it is. But let's continue.
And we played the game. And then he leaned over and he touched me. And he kissed me. And he told me I was pretty. In my mind, it was like someone blew my head off. The popular boy in school just told me I was pretty and kissed me and likes me. That's what he's telling me. He likes me. Fast forward, and he's got my clothes off, and we're doing the whoop de woo, and I'm completely vulnerable. And as we're doing it, and he turns me over and tells me to get on my hands and knees and arch my back, I hear the door crack open. I look up in shock, gasp, thinking his mom has called us and we're about to be in so much trouble, but nope, it's his brother. He never stopped stroking me. As his brother walked in, I sat there in disbelief, my mind racing. Mind you, I hadn't even had sex really before this. You know, a couple of little playful things here and there, but this was really my first full time going all the way. So now I'm wondering what's going on. Why hasn't he stopped? Do I stop? Do I lay here? Do I tell him to stop? I don't really know. His brother walks in, he never stops stroking, and then he leans down and whispers in my ear, "Can my brother get a turn?" I don't really know what to say. I don't know what to do. Do I say no? Do I say yes? I mean, I should say no, right? Can your brother get a turn? I don't even know your brother, but I finally have some friends, and their family's really nice to me. I hate to mess this up.
So again, now many of you all are um, discrediting what she's saying. I'm gonna say this now. The reason why we're required to be obedient is to keep us out of harm's way. And usually, when you are in harm's way, it's because you sinned. Sin puts you in harm's way, and it's just that simple. So, in order to be in out of harm's way, is to be obedient. So she knew that she was not supposed to be at that house after his mother told her to go home. So once she disobeys the mother, and as she admits, the family treated her well, she had no reason to dishonor the mother. Zero. So now she's in a room, she's having intercourse. She's 14, he's 17. She's having intercourse, and this young man's brother walks in. Now his brother walks in, and obviously she's probably uncomfortable. She's probably nervous. It's a lot of emotions going on in her head. Again, she's not prepared for this moment. So her decision making in this moment is not going to be good. Because guess what? She shouldn't be in a situation. It's like somebody saying, man, they did a crime. Now they're in prison complaining about how bad prison is. It's not how that works. The lessons that God gives us keeps us out of harm's way. The easiest decision to make is to do the right thing. When you do the right thing, it don't take any thought. You got God's covering and protection. It's the easiest thing to do. All she had to do was go home. But now she's in the bedroom, she's having intercourse, and now she's in a situation where it's peer pressure. She wants to be accepted, she wants to be liked. Obviously she has low self-esteem. Again, she's in way over her head. But now the brother comes into the room. She has a tough decision to make that she's not going to be able to make. She's just not. She's not equipped. So now let's continue.
So him and his brother get a turn. But then the door cracks open again, and here comes his cousin. Ain't no fun unless we all get some, right? That's what they told to me. I'll spare you all the details of my sad sob story, but let's just say fast forward, everyone has their fun, I guess. And it's time for me to go home. And I'm confused and I'm ashamed. And I don't really have anybody I can talk to about it. I don't know what I just did, and I don't even know if I liked what I just did. Anyways, because I know this video is getting long and you guys probably don't want to hear all the details. Long story short, back then, I didn't realize that I was a victim. I didn't realize that that was a manipulation tactic. I didn't realize I was targeted. Back then, I was just ashamed. I felt like I had been a whore, a harlot. I felt disgusting. I felt like it was my fault. I felt like I should have moved smarter. And I also, in the same breath, felt like finally somebody loves me. Somebody wants me. Finally, I'm pretty enough. Finally, I'm good enough. And it was two confusing different feelings. And now that I'm older, I really understand what was going on. And I'm just making this video to spread awareness for the other girls that may have had the same thing happen to them or may have gone through similar things and were always too ashamed to bring it up or speak their truth. You were a victim.
Okay, so she told you the story about how she was a victim. And this is why I tell people there is a difference between something bad happening to someone and that person being a victim. It's two different things that's going on here. And she can say she was targeted, and it's possible that she was targeted. But at the same time, though, she didn't have to do it. Not only did she not have to do it, but she knew what she was doing was wrong because she snuck back in the house after his mother said, "You need to go home." The same mother that she said treated her like family. This is how the devil works. The devil gets you to compromise yourself, and now you're in a situation where you don't have any covering. God, how can God cover you if you're disobedient? If the boy's mother tells you to go home and you come back, what do you want anybody to do? Just like in the Bill Cosby case, a lot of those women came back a second and third time. Think about these women saying they were, SA'd and raped, but then they came back. Think about all the women that said they were taken advantage of, but in the morning took the money off the dresser and came back. And so I know she's 14, and at 14, we all have done stupid things. But I guarantee at 14, the stupid things we did resulted from disobedience. We went against what was right. And so now she's saying that she was targeted and she was a victim, but she's not considering that these are also children as well. 17, 16, and 16, or 17, 16, and 15, they're still children too. So why do the young boys get held to a higher standard? Y'all are all in high school, brains undeveloped. Why do the young men have to be predators now? Now in the court of law, they would have convicted all of them, but would it have been right? In the court of law, those young men would have been convicted, but would it have been right? Because they're still children too. Why are we holding the young men to such a high standard when we know boys at the age of 15 through 17 are dumb and stupid, full of hormones raging? We know this. So again, her coming back and telling this story, this is why I don't like these recanted stories, because you got to tell the whole story. You got to say, I was being fast, because that matters. We were all in the wrong. That matters. The boys were wrong and you were wrong. Everybody was wrong. Not just them wrong and you a victim. No, everybody's wrong. She wasn't forced. She said the reasons why she did it. And she did it to stay in her good graces. She didn't want to be unpopular again. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Answering questions I keep getting about that train because y'all too lazy to go watch the 6-minute video and go find the answers for yourself. So I'm about to tell you it in 1 minute. Let's go. No, they did not tell the school. Nope, they didn't start treating me any different. Yes, we continued to hang out. Anytime they wanted to skip class or needed somewhere to smoke and drink, they came over to my house. My grandmother was never home. I was always left alone, so I was the hangout spot. She want to hang with us, we want to run train. No, I was not the only girl they did that to. And yes, they did go to court and end up being charged for doing it to another girl. And the other girl was actually a popular girl. She was very pretty, very popular, very well known. They deflowered her and did the same thing to her. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe that was the thing. Maybe it was the whole being able to take the virginity of freshmen thing. Everybody did end up finding out about her, though. I don't know if everybody found out about her because she told, because it went to court, or whatever the case may be. By that time, I was already in foster care. I do not know what was going on after that. Their mothers became mean to me after a while. So after a while, I just ended up stopped going back over there anyway, and they would just skip school and come to my house. I don't know where you guys are getting the I gave consent from. I said in the video, he was still inside of me, still stroking when the other one came in. He never stopped. I even said I didn't know what to say. So I just allowed it. And yes, it did happen again. Why did I allow it to happen again? I don't know. I just wanted friends. I was gullible. I wanted to be liked. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be a part of something. I had people coming over my house and hanging out with me. My spot was a hangout spot. Why would I want this to end? All I had to do was suck a little Peter Whacker to have some friends. Why wouldn't I?
So, as you see, and again, so now after the traumatic event that happened, the behavior continued. And again, I say this all the time. When things like this usually happen, it's because you are disobedient and you are in sin. This is what happens. Once we start sinning, I'm just sorry to say this. Once we start doing what's wrong, we are open to any form of attack. I'm sorry. It just is what it is. There's been plenty of times a mother said, "Stop hanging with them boys," and then her son ended up killed. It's just again, this is how it works. We are in a world where we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities, the rulers of darkness, wickedness in high places. This is why God instructs us to put on the whole armor of God. So again, if you are out of bounds, you can't complain how you get dealt with. That's how it works. This is it. I didn't make it up. So the best thing to do is to give people solutions versus saying they're just victims. If you give someone a victim title, I guarantee they're not going to walk away and say, "I learned the lesson." They're not. So she said, these trains continued. They continued. They didn't treat her different. They were friends. Everything stayed the same. And so when she first tells the story, yes, those young men are going to get charged. And she said they did, which makes sense. But the problem is that they're kids too. You see, women love saying that women mature faster than men. So why aren't they the victims? If girls mature faster than boys, then if she's 14, does that make her 18 and them 17? Does that make her 18 and them 14? If girls mature faster than boys, then what age does that make all the parties involved? Either she's more mature than them or they're less mature than her. But you can't keep running around and saying that girls mature faster than boys, but then all of a sudden, when it comes to something like this, now the girls are immature. That's not how that works. We can't have it both ways. The only way God can protect you is if you are being obedient. If you run out there into this world, you are telling your God, "I don't need your covering." Now, maybe sometimes grace will step in, but God's grace is sufficient. But God's grace isn't for us to keep going doing the same thing, testing the limits. And I do feel sorry for her. She was 14 years old, low self-esteem, abuse at home. It was the perfect scenario for that to happen. Most of the pimps out there, they get girls this age, 12, 13, 14. Ain't like the movies where they go and get grown women. Most pimps start with young girls because they're impressionable. Their mind isn't developed. Yes, Kofi, they're conflating being mature with being conniving. I agree. They're conflating being mature with being manipulative. That's really what they mean, manipulation. Were the young men wrong? Yes. But was she wrong? Yes. And the problem is that society is structured to where we can't say both people are wrong. If you don't say both people are wrong, then you can't fix the problem. What could I have done different? They're going to say, Blanche, you victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming. I'm just saying what could have been done different.
Was it the best decision? No. But I was a 14-year-old child. I know now as an adult that it was stupid. I'm telling my story so that your daughters and your little sisters and your little cousins and all the little girls on here don't do the same dumb shit and fall for you predators.
I mean, she's calling them predators, but I mean, I don't know. They're 15, 16, 17 years old. I mean, again, we can't have it both ways. Either we're going to stop saying that girls mature faster than boys, either we're going to stop that narrative, or we just going to say that children are children, are we going to say that guys mature faster than girls, are we going to say that guys are better at manipulation? Like, what are we going to say? I'm going to say that both sets of children, her and the boys, are being disobedient. They were in sin. And this is what happens. And the boys eventually end up getting charged. Because a different girl, who was the popular girl, who came from a better household, did the same thing. The girl that came from a better household did the same thing. So now we know that it may not have been about your home life. It might just be decision making. It might just be what you value. At 14 years old, you value being popular. You want the older guys to like you. We see this in high school all the time with the young girls dating older guys. Nobody was offended when I was in school. Nobody got offended by these girls in high school messing with grown men. Nobody got offended by it. No, nobody said it was wrong, nothing. You know how many young men in high school lost a girl to a grown man? You gonna tell me that every situation she was a victim? In every situation she got used? I'm asking. Do you know how many young men got their feelings hurt, heartbroken, losing a girl to an older man? A guy in high school losing their girl to a guy in college. Are we gonna say the guy that got his heart broken, is he a victim? What about his trauma? What about his pain? What about his therapy? You see, it's always two sides of these stories. But when you focus on one side, it's manipulation and it's propaganda. And it puts out a false narrative and message. The only way to fix the problem is for both parties to say they were wrong, if they were wrong. What could I have done different? What could I have done better? Now, am I saying that grown men messing with basically children is right? No. I'm saying that a 16-year-old girl dating a guy that's 25, it doesn't mean she's a victim. Now, she can get victimized, she can get manipulated, she can get misused, but at 16 years old, she's going with the 25-year-old for a reason. Plenty of girls in high school messing with the guys that sell dope. I saw it growing up all the time. It wasn't shocking, it wasn't new, it was normal. Were they victims? Kofi said, my senior year in high school, we found out our football coach was dating 3 girls in the school. He was only reported by one when she found out about the other girls. Again, the situation can be wrong and them still not be victims. I'm going to say it again. The situation can still be wrong and them not be victims. If I say the coach is wrong for messing with the girls and the girls were being fast, it doesn't diminish it being wrong. It doesn't diminish the responsibility being on the adults. It doesn't. It simply is saying that both parties played a part. Now, the responsibility of playing a part is greater for the adult, but both parties still played a part. And to solve the problem, you ask the young lady, okay, what would you have done different? Maybe when the coach came to you, you went and told an adult. Maybe when the coach came to you, you say no. The Bible says that God always gives us a way of escape. And what puts us in harm's way more times than not is disobedience. Even if someone doesn't tell you something, you still know the rules. I need y'all to give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. I got some salmon in the oven. Just give me 1 second, y'all. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second to cookie. About your time. Give me some fish. I said, give me 1 reason to cook you. I burn that burn. Give me 1 reason to cook you. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Give me 1 reason to cook you. Sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. Give me 1 reason to cook you. And I might burn the house down. Okay, let's listen to her again. And I don't want to leave you lonely. Give me 1 reason to cook you.
My mother gave birth to my sister at the age of 13, and my sister's father was 26 years old. My sister got pregnant at the age of 18 by a man that was 30 years old. And when I had my first child, I got pregnant at 17 by a man who was 26 years old. It wasn't until I gave birth to my own child that I realized how generational curses work and how that thing is passed down from bloodline to bloodline to bloodline until someone has the strength to stand up and stop it. When my mother was younger, she was anally raped by a family member so bad to the point where she had to have 32 stitches placed inside of her anus. My grandfather, even as he saw her laying in that hospital bed, refused to believe that that family member did that to her. He not only refused to believe it, but he continued to allow me and my sister to be around this family member. To this day, I still get people telling me about this family member, even though they know what he's done to all of us. Being molested or raped in my family was nothing more than just a rite of passage. You were a woman now. You shouldn't have been acting grown. You should have kept your tail in the house. It was your fault. You deserved it. You were talking too much. And in my family, you better not speak up or out of turn, especially not towards a man. I remember very vividly my grandpa backhanded me across my face at the age of 7 in front of all his friends because I told him snakes do not have legs after he said snakes do. My sister was also molested growing up.
She told that story. I know her father was talking about probably the Bible. Her grandfather talking about snakes have legs. I think he was trying to tell her about Genesis and the serpent. Basically, serpent-like creature probably looked different before it got cursed. That's funny though. That's funny. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry.
She was more of a heavy set girl all her life. So she had like triple D breasts from the age of like 8. And my grandfather, who raised me, was a colorist who believed anyone darker than a brown paper bag was a bum hoodlum without a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of. Those were his words, not mine. His favorite thing to say, actually. My grandpa raised.
So, right, Tish says, Scripture says we are promised the blessings of our forefathers. We have to invite in the curses in through sin. Exactly. So, it's not a situation where you're just cursed. Your behavior matches those before you. So, if you look back, if you do the same things they did, you're going to get the same results. The wages of sin is death. It's just that simple. So it's not like this was just passed down for these young ladies to just be promiscuous and get pregnant at an early age. No, the behavior is the same. That's all. All this I'm cursed. You curse. No, the behavior is the same. If you don't change the behavior, you will get the same results. It's just that it's not rocket science. When I hear folks talking about being cursed and all this stuff, I hear no accountability. If your behavior is the same, you're going to get the same results as a cursed people. If your behavior changes, you won't get the same results. It's not deep.
All of us, my mother, my sister, and me. And he made sure to remind all of us that we were all worthless, that we would never have nothing, not a pot, not a window, not nothing, that uh, our mother was a drug addict with nothing, that we were nothing. It was just always a bunch of nothing, which resulted in my mother becoming the crackhead, which resulted in me becoming the crack baby. Born in the 80s, crack baby. I wasn't born in the 80s, though. I'm not that old. But I digress. My father was the drug dealer. He was the one in the kitchen whipping up the crack. SA trauma, alcoholism, all of that runs heavy in my bloodline. It's heavy in my bloodline. That trauma is just so deep into the soil. And I just wanted to be the one to stop it. Like, after I gave birth to my daughter, I could not just imagine, like, I would say now, I'm going to say this. I do not encourage teen pregnancy. However, for me, it saved my life. It changed me. Had I not had my child, I don't know what would have happened to me. That's just my testimony. We never received apologies, just gifts. And when my mother got older, she repeated the same cycle. She never apologized to me or my sister for any of the things she did or said to us. But she did buy us things when she could. Cycles, curses, trauma, they're all passed down. They're all passed down. Everything is genetic, from the way you walk to the things you like, even down to your kinks. Don't believe me? Google it. It's all genetic. Somebody has to stop it. Somebody has to be brave enough someone has to be strong enough to face all the demons that are coming from each generation.
Okay, so my question is, she's mentioning curses, she's mentioning demons. What is the solution? She's saying break the curse, but break the curse how? How are we going to break the curse? How are we going to break the curse? Um, Kofi, I thought I saved your video. Um, I'm trying to find that clip with DL Hewley on stage. Here we go. I just want to have it pulled up. I'm sorry. I just want to have it pulled up. I got it, Kofi. But again, bloodline, all of this stuff, genetics, that's not how it works. You can't say that all of the bad stuff gets passed down and none of the good. When you listen to folks talk about what's passed down in the bloodline, it's never positive. So you mean to tell me the bloodline can distinguish what's good and what's bad? You mean to tell me everybody's bloodline only passed down bad stuff? Is cap. Your behavior is the issue. Your behavior is the issue. If you do the same thing that your mother did, you're going to get the same results. Like this ain't nothing to do with a curse. And we got to be honest. We got to be honest. If you do the same thing that your mother did, you are going to get the same results. If you start having intercourse at 14 years old, you're probably going to end up pregnant at a young age. It's just how it works. It ain't about a bloodline of curses. I'm sorry.
And stand up and stop it. I think that's the reason why I could never be mad at my mother, y'all. Or at least I could never stay mad at her. Every time I try to, I just think about everything that she's been through and everything that she wasn't strong enough to overcome. And although, a part of me holds her accountable, and I've learned to have stronger boundaries and learned that I need to love her at a distance until she does heal and maybe does find a way to get herself out of that hole. I understand she didn't put herself there. And I understand that no one told her how to get out of it. And I understand that, once you're setting your ways for so long and been through so much for so long, it's hard to accept help. It's like trying to help a hurt or injured animal. 9 times out of 10, they're going to lash out at you and bite you because they don't realize that you're trying to help them, because they didn't have the help before, because they're scared, because they're in pain, whatever the case may be. So I can't be mad at her.
So a lot of issues stem from her resentment towards her mother. A lot of this, she's upset with her mother for being on drugs, probably abandoning them with the grandparents. I mean, she probably has a lot of resentment towards her mother, which is going to make most children rebellious. So when is the Donald Trump bashing session going to start? Well, I would ask you, what do you want to bash him on? You have to, this is the problem when it comes to Donald Trump. It has to be something that's factual. Black folks want you to bash Donald Trump on something the media told them that's not true. What do you want me to bash him on that's actually a factual thing? I don't mind doing it. I'm critical of both parties. I'm critical of all candidates. So again, what do you want me to bash Mr. Trump on? Keep in mind, he hasn't been president for 4 years. But if you want to bash him, we can. Keep in mind, he ain't running the country. Joe Biden's been in office and Kamala's running for vice president. So before, when I was telling folks how bad Joe Biden was going to be and Kamala was going to be, I was told that Trump is president. It's just funny that when Biden and Kamala are president, now we get to focus back on Trump. I'm like, it's crazy. So I just want to know, what is Trump doing that's factual that you all want me to bash him on? I don't mind doing it, but it has to be factual. Let's continue.
I still love her. No matter what she says or does to me, there's a little girl inside of me that I will admit that wants her mother, that wants to have a relationship with her, because I understand her. But I also understand that in order for me to break these curses and end these things and become better and keep my kids protected and from going and seeing certain things, I have to keep her at a distance. I have to keep them all at a distance. That's the only way I'm going to protect my family. It's the only way I'm going to end these curses, unfortunately. I wish I could have healed them all. I wish my mother would have realized the love she was looking for was right here. I wish I could have been the best friend my sister always needed. I wish I could have healed my grandfather. I do. I wish I could have been there to save them all. If I could sacrifice myself to fix my entire bloodline without hesitation, I would have done it. But now that I've got...
The problem with what she's saying is she ain't talking about herself. You need to not do what you've been doing. You should have went back in your brain and started going through all the things you shouldn't have done. You trying to save your mama and your sister and your family, ain't gonna work. You can't save yourself. You supposed to go back and say, I could have made a better decision here, 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 here. I let lust get the best of me here. I let fear get the best of me here. I let pride get the best of me here. That's the solution. You trying to be Captain Save a dysfunctional family ain't gonna work. It's not gonna work. You still dodging the issue, and the issue is the person in the mirror. That's the issue. You said you got multiple children, and I'm going to assume, just based on what I'm seeing and what I'm hearing, a face tattoo, that nose ring that I do not like. You got multiple baby fathers. So I say that with the utmost sincerity. You have to go back in your life and find out where you failed in order to fix your future. Worrying about your mama and your sister and all them, you can't say no, you can't save yourself. So again, she hasn't learned her lesson. She has not learned. You are a grown woman now. It's on you. Not your grandparents, not your mama, not your sister, not them boys. It's all on you. What are you doing now?
Gotten older, more mature, and healed, I'm realizing it was never in my calling to sacrifice myself, but instead it was in my calling to be the one to start the new cycles.
Well, I agree with that. Change your behavior. It was in your calling. Yeah, you're right. To not be no sacrifice, none of that. To do what God wanted you to do. Fulfill God's purpose for your life. But let's continue. Oh, never mind. I got it, Kofi. I got it, Kofi.
To tell you anything, dog. You gotta be able to stomach anything.
What percentage of women do you think that had a train ran on?
Oh man, hey, I'm gonna let her answer that. I have no idea.
95.
Damn! 95?
I mean, we got a lot of hoes out here.
Friends, was that like a normal thing when you was growing up? Like, just like, hey man, you're like, I done had two buddies over here.
Yeah, growing up, I got a lot of friends.
We talking Chicago here.
Yeah, I mean Chicago. Yeah, it's a lot of people that experienced when they was young.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So yeah, they was going through. Yeah, that was the norm. It was okay, but not okay. It's like if you knew, if you know, you know. If you don't, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I think they do it when they young. Everybody do it when they young.
It's heartbreaking right now. That's one of those things like you care, but you don't care, but you care. Cause if you was everybody's smutty buddy, but you want me to marry you, Let me. Can I re-sign my contract? Let's renegotiate.
So this guy's on the show, and his girlfriend at the moment is telling him that, them trains was normal. It was a normal thing, which probably means she probably participated. Now, we know that it's not 95%, but the fact that she says it's 95% lets you know how much it was occurring. Sexual immorality is very big. It's a very big problem among the kings and the queens. They don't like talking about it, but it is a very big problem because you think about it, if you focus on skin, that means you're focusing on the physical. So what's next? If your whole life existence revolves around what you look like, then what's the next thing? It's going to be some sexual immorality. It's going to be the immoral use of the skin. So the reason why sexual immorality is so high in the community with the kings and the queens is because they focus so heavily on the physical. It's all about what you look like. What's your skin tone? What's your hair texture? You bald headed, you got long hair, you're light skin, you're dark skin. Everything, you dress nice, everything is physical. This is why all of the physical sins, the kings and the queens get them the worst. They get the murders the worst, the abortions the worst. Everything is the worst because the whole existence is based on how they look, skin. But she said 99, 95%. The STD rates, astronomical among the kings and the queens. Astronomical at HBCUs. Like if you look at all the stuff that's bad, it's exacerbated among the kings and the queens. But the media is going to tell you, the intellectuals are going to tell you that it's racism. Because they can't tell you the truth, they're just going to blame white people. That's what they do. When they can't tell you the truth, it is a pattern. When they can't tell you the truth, they will always point the finger at white people. It's an easy scapegoat. I just asked somebody to come on here and say, when we going to have a bash Trump session? That's why I asked them, bash Trump on what? Tell me what to bash him on. Let's continue. Let's continue.
And can have a kid.
How?
Transgender. Your gender changes. You can have a kid. Google. Get out of my face. I'm not a transgender. I'm a bitch.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Imagine being in a bathroom on a toilet, arguing with somebody about a man getting pregnant. Imagine you being in a bathroom, arguing with somebody about a man being pregnant, transgender. Not arguing about the summit for the future, not arguing about 2030, but arguing about the transgenders getting pregnant. You see, in the community, everything is at the lowest vibrational level because everything is based on the physical. That means you remove God out of the equation totally if everything is based on the physical. And you also remove truth because guess what? Your eyes can lie to you. Your ears can lie to you. Happens all the time. I thought you said I didn't. It happens all the time where your eyes and your own eyes and ears deceive you. Even your mouth can deceive you. Even your own mouth can deceive you. But let's continue. Let's continue. I just want to now. There's this, and I'm gonna get to the skin. Matter of fact, let me go right here. Let me go to right here.
I got a ton of comments from you guys asking to see photos of my parents after my last video where I talked about the crazy news article that was written about me saying I only said I was half black to get a reparations check. I'm guessing a lot of people did not see the original video that I made over a year ago because I added a bunch of photos of my dad and a bunch of photos of my mom. So you can go far down on my reels if you want to find that, but here's some new photos. And this will also be the last time that I talk about this topic. Here's a cute little photo that my dad sent me when I was a baby. This was December 27, 2001. This is a really cute photo of my dad and I. This is like my favorite photo of us. We flexing or whatever. Here's some more cute photos of my dad and I when I was a baby. This is my mom and I also when I was a baby. Most of these photos are gonna be baby photos. Here's my mom as a teenager slaying. Here's another photo of my mom. Sorry it's so close up. I think she like cropped one of her ex-boyfriends out of this, which is really funny. This is my sister and I absolutely slaying it down. We ate and left no crumbs. My sister and I have the same dad, but different moms. This is my sister and I again at Hot and Juicy Crawfish. We love that seafood boil, baby. This is my dad, my sister and I at his wedding in Barcelona. This was, I think, 2 years ago. These are my brothers. My brothers and I share the same mom, but different dads. So basically all of my...
So again, this young lady, now according to the kings and the queens, if your dad looks like this, then you are black. But in her case, they saying no. No, in a normal situation, she would be considered black. But black folks are saying no. But when it comes to Kamala, black folks are saying yes. Think about this. Online, the queens are upset with her. Furious that she would even claim to be obligatory. But this same scenario is playing out now with the person that's running for president. The literal same scenario. Only difference is her dad ain't saying he black. Now, let me ask you all a question. Why would they accept one and not accept the other? It's simple. Because it's all based on what it looks like, not what it is. This is why the devil is so influential when it comes to the kings and the queens, because they make everything about what it looks like and not what it actually is. Everybody on IG, I will come back in about 20 seconds because my time is running out. Give me 30 seconds, y'all. Give me 15 seconds, y'all. Give me 10 seconds, y'all. Give me 5 seconds, y'all. And I'm back. And I'm back. But again, this girl has proof that according to the rules that have been laid down before her, that she's black. I'm going to show it again. This is her father. This is her. So under any other circumstance, this young lady would be considered black. But because you don't like the way she looks, you're saying she don't count. Go to her page and you'll see. You're saying she don't count. Y'all are saying she cosplaying. Y'all are saying all this stuff. But she has proof that she is biracial. And yes, she needs a reparation check. Amber Rose will not get a check because Amber Rose is Cape Verdean. So no, she wouldn't get a check. Yes, Candace did. I wish I had the video of Candace talking about it.
But if we find out that that woman is Kamala's real grandmother, and can we get a side-by-side of Kamala? If we find out that that is Kamala's real grandmother and that she decided to appropriate the domestic help who potentially died younger as her grandmother, we are watching one of the most diabolical political moves that we have ever seen. One of the most diabolical political moves that we have ever seen in the history of this country.
Would you take the check if they started giving them out? I guess, yeah. I mean, if they're gonna give it to me, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Part of me is like, you know, I don't know. Because apparently being black is something that's obscure now. You know, there's no rules to it. So yeah, give me my check. Yeah, you can send it to me. Yeah, I know her father was she doesn't mention her father because her father would go against her saying that she was black because her father doesn't say he's black. So the problem is that he ruins everything. And so if you know, you go on social media, you don't see too much about her father. She doesn't mention her father. Nobody talks about her dad because her dad's going to say that he's not black. So that's going to just destroy everything. And so they act like he doesn't exist. And so I believe that this woman right here in this picture right here is her grandmother because she looks more like her father. This woman right here looks like her father. I think her father is East Indian or Asian or something and Irish and whatever, but it makes sense that this would be his mother because she looks more like he does with the slanty eyes and all that stuff. But her side of I want you to think about this for a second. I'm gonna play this video again. Think about it. Think about this for a second. Think about this. Imagine black people rallying behind somebody who is not only not black, but also descendants of slave owners. Just think for a second. Just imagine black people rallying behind a person that isn't black and also descended from slaves. And when I say not black, I don't mean just not black genetically. I mean not black culturally. I mean no aspect of her life being black. And on top of that, literally descending from the highest caste of Indians in India and also Irish slave owners. Think about how crazy that is. Think about how insane that is. And then think about how clever Satan is. How can Satan get all these millions of people to be this blind? How can Satan get all these millions of people to see all this stuff in their face and they're still blind to it? You know how? Because it's what the people want. Because Satan is going to play on your desires. What do you desire? Oh, you desire a queen in the White House. Or you desire old girl from Scandal to become president. See, it's your desires that got you messed up. And when you don't check your desires, this is what happens. You got to go in your own cabinet and look and see, what do I desire that goes against God? You got to remove it. What do I desire that goes against God? Oh, this type of man, get rid of it. That's going to be the main one. You like this type of guy. Get rid of it. Pray and fast to get the desire out of your heart. That's what messing most people up is unchecked desires. You're desiring something that goes against God. You don't mention it. You don't say anything about it, but it's a desire. And that desire is what Satan is going to feed off of. Girl, I thought he was a good guy. I don't know what happened. Girl, they be lying so much. You can't never trust. No, your desires got the best of you. You desire that type of man. And it's the same for men too. Men having unchecked desires, not just women. Let's continue.
True. But if we find out that that woman is Kamala's real grandmother, and can we get a side-by-side of Kamala? If we find out that that is Kamala's real grandmother and that she decided to appropriate the domestic help who potentially died younger as her grandmother, we are watching one of the most diabolical political moves that we have ever seen in the history of this country. I just want to say that. I'm not saying it's true, again, but I'm saying that I don't like the picture. I always find that the dog that isn't barking, the fact that they never mentioned these marriages, the fact that they laughed people out of the room when they suggested that Kamala Harris could be white, and the fact that they just refused to mention any aspect of this and are remaining hush-hush on it, doesn't make me feel good. I don't trust these people. There's something about Kamala saying she's in these streets that doesn't make me feel that she's being honest about who she actually is. And I'm not going to let go of this. Again, we are getting closer and closer, and I will bet you the DNC is paying attention to this.
And so we know that these people lie, and we know there's a big push to make Kamala black. Trump was asked about it, and Trump should have just said she was Indian before, now she's black on that debate stage. Yeah. Just go look up and it's crazy because go look up articles and you can see the articles revised where they started adding African American or black woman. You can see them revising the articles in real time. Those articles back from pre-2020, she was Indian. She was. It just was all, she was Indian. She only became black when she was going to be Joe Biden's vice president because Joe Biden said he's going to pick a black woman. He said it. So they had to make her black. Y'all listen to Angel. She said we an hour in and the likes ain't liking. She said the likes ain't liking. But let's continue. Now there's a thing where I hear a lot of the queens say that the Caucasian women wear. Thank y'all for hitting the like button. Thank y'all. I hear where the queens say that Caucasian women wear weaves too. This is a thing that's been said, and so we do know that the queens account for 85% of the hair care market. Okay, let me make it simple for you. So there's 100% of a market. The queens account for 85% of that market, but they're only 6% of the population. That means 15% of the hair care market has to be divided up amongst white, Hispanic, and Asian, and any other race. So that means 94% of women are only using 15% of the hair care market. Black women at 6% are using 85%. So it's not even close. So when you say that white women wear weaves, Some white women may wear the clips and may wear weaves and may wear wigs, but it's not even on the same stratosphere, even same universe as the Queens doing it. It's not even in the same. We're in a whole different universe. It's a whole different multiverse. You got to go through 15 multiverses to find where the white queens and the black queens use the hair care products equally. I'll say it again. 6% of the population, black women, account for 85% of the hair care market. So it's not even close. So to even make the statement that white women wear weaves too is actually dishonest. It's a non-contextual, dishonest statement, because you know good and well, if there's any kind of sporting event, whose hair piece will fall off first? In a zombie attack, if the zombie grabs somebody's hair, who is more likely to get away? You got the zombie grabbing a Queen's head. You got the zombies grabbing a Karen's head. You got the zombies grabbing Lucy Lou's head. You got the zombie grabbing Maria's head. Who is more likely to get away? The zombie grabbing all their heads. Who is more likely to get away? You know who's going to get away. The Queen. The zombie going to be confused. Zombie going to be confused. Y'all know it and I know it. Anyway, let's go to some videos.
Beauty mark on Upper Riverdale Road has been put out. It is in the Chuck E. Cheese Plaza. In about 3 hours, they're going to let all of us have whatever we want to have. So I suggest you come on out and get you some hair. I know you done spent a lot of money here loading up the truck. So now they're saying that it is owned by the police.
Our black women, we care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the products?
This is what we saw when we got on scene. Wigs, eyelashes, jewelry, and beauty supplies. And again, tons and tons of people.
Like free stuff, so we came out here to get all this free stuff, but then the car saying you can't get the free stuff because the people want to take it.
Already in a recession, times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay?
So, as you see, a beauty supply store went out of business and all the products are on the ground. Now, according to you all, white women wear the weaves too. I don't see near white woman out here to get these free hair. They got blonde in there. They got brunettes. They got red. They got all the colors. I don't see near a Caucasian woman out here. This girl said, give back to the community by giving them some hair. Shannon Sharp said, hold on. See if I can find it real quick. Shannon Sharp had a tweet. Shannon Sharp's tweet said, why are you on my page? Don't you have another horse to rob of his hair? Stop trying to kill my vibe. Now, they're saying that is anti-black women. Think about this now. Because he made a comment about fake hair, they're saying it's anti-black. There is no association between weaves, wigs, lace fronts, and tracks with white women. Zero. Let's listen to the Queens talk about this hair.
The police
are black women. We care about our crown. Why not give back to the community and let us get the products?
This is what we saw when we got on scene. Wigs, eyelashes, jewelry, and beauty supplies. And again, tons and tons of people.
Like free stuff, so we came out here to get all this free stuff, but then the car saying you can't get the free stuff because the people want to take it.
Already in a recession, times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay?
Again, I'm not going to let y'all do it with this hair. I had somebody unfollow me because I did a video about hair. And my point in the two videos were that you're putting everything into hair. Number one, you don't know where this hair is even coming from. And number two, you claim to love yourself so much. Think about the hypocrisy in 6% of the population accounting for 85% of the hair care product and then turning around and saying that black is beautiful. Think about that. Think about these women out here ready to riot about the fake hair, but not ready to riot about these children that can't read and write and do math on grade level. Let's continue. Let's continue.
These folks finna get everything as soon as it's over with. They like a parade out here. And they still coming.
Stand back, please.
And they still coming.
Right now, don't touch any of this stuff right now while we are here. You will get locked up for shoplifting. You understand? While we are here, you touch any of this stuff, you will go to jail.
I don't see not one Caucasian woman out there. I see queens with suitcases, bonnets, bins, ready to pillage and plunder. I don't see ne'er a Caucasian woman out here. I don't see a Caucasian. I don't see an Asian. I don't see a Hispanic. I see one group of women out here ready to risk it all to get that that 1B, that 1A, 1B silky. That's what I see. But y'all told me it's the same. They wear the weaves too. No, they don't. No, they don't. Not like y'all. You know it's not true. You know it's not true. And in the zombie apocalypse, you're going to see how many black women get away. They're going to be reporting. We don't understand what's going on. I mean, white women are getting snatched up by zombies, and the Asian women, it's just like it's one demographic keep getting away. We can't, let's go investigate. They out here with bags. Listen, they out here in this hot sun, ready to get this stuff. They about to go in here and pillage and plunder. They had to bring the police out here. I mean, listen, y'all. Listen, and I like braids. I'm just saying, you don't know what they're doing to the hair. Like you just getting the, you don't know what they said. Them folks over there transferring all their negative demons and all that to their hair and shipping it off. I'm just telling y'all, you don't know what they're doing. I wouldn't trust it. All right, bye, goddess. We'll see you tomorrow on Cutting Through the Culture. She probably gotta go to work.
shit like the club. These folk got baskets. Folk got baskets out here, man.
Baskets and bins. All you see is the 3 B's: baskets, bins, and bins and big backs. Big backs, baskets, and bins. For all you see.
Folk want all these folks shit. Beauty market over with for your shit. Folk finna get you. Folk finna take you out, Beauty Mart. It's over with.
Keena said, I heard the Indians put the bodies in the ocean and the Asians retrieve the bodies and cut the hair off. I wouldn't doubt it. Listen, man, I would not doubt it. I do not trust them folks over there. They too wicked. They into too much crazy stuff. Them folks worshiping monkeys and eating monkeys, and there's all kind of crazy. No, I can't do it.
So the beauty mark on Upper Riverdale Road has been put out. It is in the Chuck E. Cheese Plaza. In about 3 hours, they're going to let all of us have whatever we want to have. So I suggest you come on out.
Have you ever seen them make a public service announcement for these children not being able to read, write, or do math on grade level? Have you ever heard them make a public service announcement about this abortion rates? How about these homicide rates? Have you ever heard a public service announcement for anything that's destroying the community? No, you haven't. But they will send out an APB, an SOS. They will put the signal in the air to get all the queens to come down and get some free hair. When this happened, you heard this around the country. They came from miles around to come get this hair. That's all you heard. You heard this state to state. Let's continue.
House in Clayton County, where hundreds of people showed up to try to take home merchandise from an evicted beauty mart. Take a look. This happened at the Beauty Mart at the Terra Crossing Shopping Center on Upper Riverdale Road. You can see the source supplies piled up there in the parking lot. Several people on the scene told us they were there to take advantage of the tossed out items.
We like free stuff, so we came out here to get all this free stuff, but then the car saying you can't get the free stuff.
We're already in a recession. Times are hard. Why not just let us get the items and invest and be okay?
Well, the Beauty Mart wasn't the only local business that drew a large crowd today. This is video from the Red Martini Restaurant and Lounge on Peachtree Road in Buckhead, where we saw people taking furniture, refrigerators, and bottles of alcohol left outside. A security guard told us this stemmed from a dispute over who owns the building. We're still working to confirm and learn more.
Now, the Red Martini was a very popular spot in Atlanta. But again, you see who came to pillage and plunder. They didn't ask anybody. They came and started taking stuff. But the Bible said, "Thou shalt not steal." So you saw the two things to get these folks to come together, the kings and the queens, is some free hair, some free alcohol. I didn't make that up. It's what you see. Big bags, big bags. Look how the police got to hold them back. Look how the police has to hold them back. Now, y'all want to convince me that these same group of people was building pyramids. You all want to convince me that the same people trying to ransack these people's product are the same people that built the pyramids.
So this is going on right now. A beauty mark is getting evicted, and it was said that the owner was she passed away, and she left it to her son, and he has a disability, and so I really think that the disability hindered him, and he didn't know what to do with the business, and that's really sad because there is help out here, but it's really sad because you've got millions of dollars of product out here about to be taken if he can't get all this stuff up. But
somebody came up on this now. Don't get it twisted. Somebody came up on this. When all the melee cleared and the smoke settled, somebody came and offered some money for this products, guaranteed, and bought all this stuff and made a killing. This didn't go to waste.
it's so many people out here. It's like a free-for-all.
Leatherface say disability was his bliggitiness.
It's sad though.
Y'all see it though. They got to stand on guard for this merchandise. It's like hungry, bald-headed wolves trying to get this. Not just wolves, hungry, bald-headed wolves trying to get this. Look at this. Look. All these queens out here trying to get this hair. Not a Caucasian woman in sight. Not one in sight. No other race of woman in sight. Let's continue.
It's a little car, man. Are you pregnant? I just okay, wait, show it.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, at this time, you will not be able to access any of the merchandise in the parking lot. First shares out, and merchandise will be collected by shares on the personnel. If you intend to take this merchandise in any way, shape, or form, you will go to jail for theft. At this time, please enter the parking lot to order retirement. If your vehicle is running
And the police are telling them that you can't have it, and they're still there. The police are telling them you can't have the products. We got it taped off. If you touch it, you're going to jail, and they're still there, still coming. Now, I was told when they gather like this, something good's going to happen. It's either going to be a pyramid, a city, something good's going to happen. I was told when they gather like this, something miraculous is going to happen. Pyramid, city, I don't know. Wakanda, something. Do they have any angel wings, bliggities, big black big back bliggities, Benz, big black biggity, big back bliggities, Benz, and what was the last B? Benz and what? Oh, bonnets. Was it bonnets? Big back bliggities, Benz, and bonnets. But the police is telling them you can't have any, and they're still out there. And it's still out there. Let's continue.
Yeah, it's definitely upsetting. I don't think there's nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism, hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats. You know, those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league, the organization, the WNBA. But there are a lot of really good fans, whether they've been fans for 20 plus years or whether they're new fans in our league. I think continuing to uplift this league in a very positive light is the best thing that we can do, because there are so many great players, there's so many great teams, there are so many positive storylines that can be written and celebrated. And for me, that's why I became a fan of this league, is these people were my idols. I grew up wanting to be like them. So I think continuing to uplift and, you know, represent this league in a positive way is the best thing that we can do.
They are trying to break Caitlin Clark down. They are lying. It's a bold-faced lie. There are no fans at a WNBA game yelling out racial slurs. A WNBA game is filled with a bunch of woke people. If anybody heard anything out of line, it's going to be a ruckus riot in there. It's a lie. What they're doing to Caitlin Clark is they're saying before Caitlin Clark came to the league, we didn't get any racial slurs. Now that Caitlin Clark is in the league, now the fans are racist. So really what they're saying is that Caitlin Clark and her whiteness brought the racist / Trump supporting fans to WNBA, and they're being racist towards us. It's a bold-faced lie. It's not true at all. Nobody is hurling racial threats or epithets at these players. They're not doing it. What's happening is these bliggities, because I've seen it, get online and talk crazy to and about white people. The white person might respond by saying, you don't have any edges, and it's a blow up. See, the problem is that for years, the Caucasians haven't fought back. They're just taking it. They let y'all talk crazy online. They let y'all have it. And the moment they say one thing to you all, now it's racism. It's cap. There are no white people saying some racist to these WNBA players. They ain't even watching the sport. Racists don't watch a bunch of queens playing basketball. They don't do it. This is a setup for Caitlin Clark. They're trying to break her down. They don't want her to be the face. So because they can't break her down and because she's good, now they're going to make something up. They're going to lie. This is what communists do. Now they're going to make it seem like Caitlin Clark is bringing these fans to the WNBA that are racist. It's a bold-faced lie. It's not true. It's all propaganda. It's not true. Ain't nobody thinking about the WNBA. You know how we know this? Because they haven't made a profit in over 23 years. Nobody cares about the sport. They only care about the sport because Caitlin Clark is playing. What you all don't understand is you all are attacking her because she's white. Make no mistake about it. She's being attacked because she's white, not for any other reason. And maybe because she's straight. White first, straight second. They don't want her to be the face of the league. And they're mad because Aja Wilson is so good, but nobody really cares about Aja Wilson. Her game ain't exciting. Yeah, she's good, but she's not exciting. These players aren't exciting. Nobody wants to say it. Caitlin Clark is exciting to watch, period. We are in the Steph Curry era. We are in the era that they had in baseball, there was a saying that said, chicks dig the long ball. We are in the long shot era of basketball. Do a great move and hit a three-pointer. That's the era we're in. And she literally embodies the era of basketball that we're in. It's just horrible. They just making stuff up. Cowardly. And I'm going to say it again. The Bliggities do not like to compete. Talking about they want a level playing field. No, they don't. They want a level playing field. With the United States was giving out, is still giving out, standardized tests. The standardized tests are based on what you learned in school. And who was the only group of people to complain about the standardized test for everyone? Let's continue.
Professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And you know, basketball is headed in a great direction, but
she's got 14,000 followers. And it's really easy to ignore, and most people don't know who she is in the sports world. The only reason why people even know who she is because of Caitlin Clark. And she still only got 14,000 followers on Twitter.
So in other words, what Jason Whitlock is saying is that you don't have enough fans to be a target of anything. Nobody knows who you are. You're not known. You aren't a household name. You don't have any billboards. You're not in the magazines. We don't know who you are. This is no different than the Juicy Smollett thing. You're trying to convince me that some racist guys are going to get out their warm house and they're going to hop in the pickup truck and go outside of Chicago where it's 20 degrees below zero looking for a bliggity, knowing good and well bliggities don't like the cold. And then they so happen to see Juicy switching across the street in the snow, and then they say, hey, aren't you that Empire N-word? Now, why would two racist white men be watching a show like Empire? Why would two racist white men be watching a show like Empire and then in 20 degree below weather recognize a person from the show? Doesn't make any sense. It's a lie. Nobody is bothering these WNBA players. How do we know this? Because nobody watches it. It hasn't made money in 23 years. The first year it's going to make a profit, coincidentally, is the year that Caitlin Clark is in the league. You got 14,000 followers on Twitter, and you claim you're being targeted. It's cap. Nobody watches the WNBA. People watch Caitlin Clark. And what you bliggies are experiencing is this. You all have been talking crazy about white folks, and you're talking crazy about Caitlin, but she has fans. And I know how y'all talk on social media. Y'all say the skin is pale, they ugly, they ain't human, they dogs. I know y'all talk. I know how you all talk about white people on social media. But the moment they say one thing to y'all flip out and lose it. You know why? Because you don't want to compete. You don't want a level playing field. Because you know if it's level, you're going to lose. You know that. They all eat hot Cheetos, right? So if I can do one more video, I'll do one more. Taylor Swift is the most swag, and she wearing a picnic cloth dress too. Listen, Taylor Swift is just this is a fake relationship. We know it's fake. Who's them dudes that wear the suspenders, the little Dutch, he's like a little Dutch dude. But my point is, Taylor Swift is just, she's a mega star, but she just she don't have no it factor. She just like, it's like the machine is real because they made Taylor Swift don't have no it factor, no pizzazz, no pop, no swag, just nothing. You're gonna say, Blanche, you hating, but I'm not hating, man. She is created by the machine. She is the creation of a machine. Just plain, just picnic tablecloth, plain. She know the camera's watching. She just right, Diamone. She a bowl of plain oatmeal, just oatmeal, no butter, no sugar, no pet milk, no nothing. They call them the swiftness. Everybody knows that she don't have any swag, no pizzazz, no pop, no. It's just a machine creation. We saw in real time. We saw the machine. She might even be an android. She might not even be real. She might be a robot. She don't have no kind of she might well break out doing the robot. Oatmeal cooked in water, not milk. I'm talking about just, when y'all talk about mayonnaise, it's Taylor Swift. When y'all talk about plain, it's Taylor Swift. Like, you're going to say, Blanche, you hate. I swear I ain't hating y'all. She got some good music. I'm not going to hate on her. She has some good music. I'm not going to say she doesn't. I'm just saying her music, her pop music, when you see her, it don't match. Like when you see Beyonce, it matches. Now, Beyonce, no personality either, but she at least got the performance down. Beyonce just as dry. Beyonce just as dry as anything else. Beyonce ain't got no kind of personality. I never heard her tell a joke. Beyonce is dry. But at least with Beyonce, when I see her on stage and when I see her in the magazine doing the pose, and when I see it matches. But Taylor Swift, it don't match. Y'all know it don't. Y'all know I ain't tripping or hating. These kids, listen, and I'm gonna tell you what her biggest appeal is. Taylor Swift's biggest appeal is the fact that anybody can be her. There's nothing that she does that seems out of the scope of what's possible. Like, you might see Whitney Houston, you know you can't sing like her. You might see Beyonce, you know you can't perform like her. But when you see Taylor Swift, you be like, man, I can do that. Taylor Swift is the megastar that gives the world confidence. I can do what she's doing. I can go up there and have no rhythm, can sing okay, have no personality. I can do that. That's why she has so much appeal. It's the same with Steph Curry. Steph Curry is so popular because he's a great player, yes, but look at him. He has a baby face. He ain't super athletic. He ain't super quick. Like, he's very normal looking. He's very normal. Matter of fact, they used to say that the women voted him the most attractive NBA player. But you know why? He's a normal guy. He looks normal. He ain't 6'9", 270. He's a normal looking guy. He's a guy they feel like they can get in public. Same with Taylor Swift. She's the artist. Everybody says, I can do that. Her songs are very basic, very simple. They appeal to the lower vibrational people. I'm telling you, she's a machine creation. She is the safest star we probably ever had. She does nothing to rock the boat. Her singing don't rock the boat. Her dancing gonna sink the boat. Her personality be at the bottom of the ocean. She is the safest superstar we've ever seen in our lives. She's not gonna do anything to raise anybody's eyebrows. She's just Taylor Swift. She's a creation from the machine. She ain't even got no right. She don't even have any body. Well, yeah, well, Steph is pushing communism. But Taylor Swift, nobody, I'm telling you, blonde hair, blue eyes, skin. I'm talking about she's just like a machine creation. I'm sorry. Anyway, y'all. MKOK, may the Lord deliver us from all victimhood mentality, accountability, and considering others above ourselves is the key. Amen. MKOK. Thank you so much. Kofi 19, thank you. How about the fact that they can't find a birth certificate for Donald Harris? That's the same thing that sparked the Obama birth argument. I agree. Same thing. Thank you, though. Danny Shade, Blanche, you know the Bliggities need those bust downs with the middle. She talk about them wigs with the part artist. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. Listen, y'all, I love y'all. Thank you so much to Angel Wings. Thank you so much for moderating. Thank you so much, Goddess Navi. Listen, I love y'all, and I will see you all tomorrow on Cutting Through the Culture. Thank you so much.